Hi everyone, Steve Elliott here again, this time with a digital painting in Procreate 4, and I am painting a local scene to me, and it's called the River Gardens. Now this scene has a lot of personal memories for me, because when I was a young lad of about 6 or 7 years old, I used to go spend Saturday mornings with my gran. She used to take me and my brother shopping, and we'd carry these heavy shopping bags around. It was days before everybody had a car, and we used to go to town on a bus, and we'd carry these shopping bags all around town, and at lunchtime she'd buy us a bag of chips each, and we'd go and sit on the river gardens and watch the birds and just chill out for an hour before we headed back home. So lots of fond memories. I used to love doing it, and lots of memories, always very tired at the end of it. So I was in Derby, where the river gardens are, the other week, and I thought, I was walking past, I'm just going to wander into the river gardens. I've not been there for years and years and years. So I was in there, took my phone out, grabbed a few pictures, and I thought I would paint a picture of it, because obviously very sentimental, very nostalgic, and I thought I would enjoy painting a picture. So that's what I did, and I really did enjoy it actually, and this is the final result. I started it off as a pastel drawing. I thought I'd try something different, and I would do it in pastels, and I tried that in Art Rage, and it was coming on alright, but for some reason I abandoned it and decided that I would do it as an oil painting. I don't know why, but I did. So I've got half of this painting done in pastels as well. It'd be interesting to know if you think it would be a good idea for me to finish that in pastels and post it so you could compare the difference. If you'd like to leave a message, what you'd like me to do with that, I would definitely consider finishing it. Anyway, this is the River Gardens. I started it my usual way, painting in a base colour, and I used quite a bright pink cerise colour as a background, because I knew I was going to be painting lots of greens in the foreground, and I let a lot of the pink background show through the final finished piece. When we get to the end, you will see that I've left lots and lots of pink showing through the canvas, and it gives a nice warm feel, because it was a warm day. Although it was getting towards autumn, it was still a nice warm day, and I think leaving that pink in there and showing that through has helped a lot to put that over in the painting. I'd also say I've been a bit more adventurous, and as you can see here, I've started using a few more of the digital tools a little bit. Instead of just painting, I've used the crop tool quite a lot in this one to change the composition 2 or 3 times. The actual canvas is quite a bit longer than the photograph that I'm working from, that you can see on the left, and I started with a lot more of the canvas given over to the trees than the river and the steps. But halfway through I decided that I wasn't feeling that. I wanted to bring the steps forward more, so I used the crop tool to select the trees or the old picture to start, and actually compressed it and then stretched the bottom off. So although I've done that before, I've never quite have done it on that kind of scale of change something so drastically. And yeah, it did make life quite easy, and I'm into that. I'll definitely be doing that again. These are a figure that I'm putting in here now. I did create a new layer as well. I kept all of the people that I put in on this picture on a separate layer, and you can see there I'm resizing it, enlarging the guy, looking at it thinking it's too big, shrinking down a bit, and so on and so forth. So using that tool a lot in this painting. When I get the steps done, I do start to put in some of the birds as well, and you'll see me using that again. So all of the people, the birds, and anything that's sort of sitting in the scene, I did put on another layer and kept it on another layer for a long time, which is something I don't normally do. On the water, which I'm doing now, I was very conscious that I use the same type of brush strokes as I did on the trees. I mean, they can't be exactly the same because it's water and not trees, but what I'm trying to get across is I wanted very loose strokes, and it started at one point I was getting a little bit too defined, and I go back into it again, and I think at this point I'm thinking some of these strokes are too thin and too spindly, and they don't echo the rest of the painting. It looks like it belongs to a different painting. I don't know if you can see there. I felt so I started to use the blending brush to smooth them out, and look, they've all gone. And then I go in it again, but this time I'm a lot looser and a bit more. It looks as though it's haphazard, but I am thinking what I'm doing really. And I've sort of put some highlights in the water there, working on the step a little bit, refining edges all the time. And here we go. I start to put in some of the birds. The first colour I put in, I thought, no, it's not working. It's not like the rest of the painting. Get with the program, Steve. Get rid of that yellow. You haven't got any yellow anywhere else. What are you doing with the yellow in the painting? So then I go over it and try and bring the blues in and so on. And you'll note, I mean, these strokes look as though I'm just sort of crashing them in without really thinking about it. They're quite abstract, but in actual fact, I did every single stroke that I put in on these birds, and as abstract as they look in places, I've thought about it. I've really paid a lot of attention to each brush stroke and how they look. And you can see I do spend a lot of time on painting something that just looks like a scribble, really. But I am, trust me, I am thinking about what I'm doing. I'm not just splashing some random brush stroke on it. I am thinking all the time, blending out a little bit of the shadow there. You see on this one, look, I'm painting it in, cutting it out, painting it in. This is on a different layer. I did like that. I like that a lot about digital painting, that I can work on something and not damage the area underneath it, and I'm resizing it and moving the birds. And I do think that they are starting to bring the painting to life. I mean, look at that. It really is quite abstract in a way, but you can see I'm spending a lot of time getting it just how I want it. It still ends up looking very loose and almost abstract, but carefully planned random brush strokes that are going on there. A few highlights in on that duck there. So I'll carry on painting these birds. I don't think I put all of the birds that are in the photo onto the painting. I just do a few selected ones, and then when I do the pigeons, it really does look like I'm smashing in some dabs of grey. There you go, look at that. But in actual fact, every single one of those dabs is considered. I've thought about it, and it's been placed very carefully. It's not just randomly splashed. I keep saying random a lot of times, but it's true. They're not random. They are very, very carefully planned marks. Putting in another lamppost that I almost forgot. a few more details, working on the guy a little bit. Then I look at the distance wall and the people there, and I just use, I'm sampling the same colours off the trees to keep the harmony of the colours going through the picture. And I do like to paint people. I'm not in, you probably understand that I don't understand anatomy at all. I haven't got a clue. I just put in strokes that I think resemble people because it works well in my style. I'm not really too fussed. Anyway, that's it. That's the end. I really hope you like this video. Thanks for staying with me to the end. If you have liked it, a big thumbs up would be appreciated, always is. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I've got lots more videos like this coming your way, and I'd love to be sharing with you. Bye.